Welcome to the WHHI-TV Daily News. As always, there's a lot to cover in the Lowcountry today. I'm Betsy McDaniel, and let's get started with our headlines. As politicians continue to argue over the health of the U.S. economy, for the 9th straight month, employment numbers in South Carolina have gone up and wages are rising as well. Over 13,000 more South Carolinians had jobs in the state in July as in June. The state's jobless rate was unchanged at 3.1%, lower than the national average of 3.5%. While the employment numbers are popping in trade, transportation, utilities, education, and health services, leisure and hospitality and construction did lose jobs last month. Thankfully, we're not talking pandemics yet, but a new COVID strain, a subvariant of the Omicron virus, is showing up in South Carolina, sending some to the hospital with severe headaches. The Prisma Health System in the state's Midlands reports 50 COVID patients in its hospitals. A new COVID vaccine is supposed to be ready by mid-September, and experts say an annual shot for COVID, like the flu shot, will likely be in our future. In what might be a career turning point for one state trooper, 26-year-old trooper DeMarcus Butler was arrested on a DUI charge over the weekend and has been suspended without pay while the Highway Patrol investigates. Lexington County Sheriff's deputies pulled over the trooper off duty and in his own car, and he tested nearly 3 times the legal limit and struggled with field sobriety tests. He could get up to 90 days in jail, and that might be just the least of his troubles. It's not likely that 500 acres just north of a runway at MCAS Beaufort would be the best site for high-density housing, but in the fast-growing Lowcountry, you never know. So just in case, a conservation easement worth $2.2 million has been created for those 500 acres on South Wimby Creek in the Dale area, north of Beaufort, which should protect the area now and in the future. The easement covers the area known as Bowers Farm and brings more than 9,000 acres as the amount of land along Whitesell Road that is now preserved from development. Although a new project in the Shell Point area might not be as outwardly exciting as a fancy new park or a new fire station, residents of that area should be celebrating as Beaufort County is spending nearly $7.5 million to help Shell Point's often flooded drainage system. County officials warn it might get a bit noisier with contractors in the area working on 8 separate projects in the next 30 days, but the adjustments being made should keep the area from flooding. Other larger flood control projects are planned in the future. Here's something that might give you bad dreams tonight. South Carolina has an official state spider, the wolf spider. It's a fairly large, up to 4 inches long, hairy spider that has a mottled brown and black body that lets them more easily camouflage itself on forest floors, but are more easily identified in our sandy environment. The good news is their bite usually causes only mild effects, and most of them prefer to run and hide, not attack. But you might want to resist the urge to squash them, as mama spiders carry hundreds of babies on their backs, and they go everywhere. I may or may not have known this from personal experience. New Hampshire is the only other state with its own official spider. And the bell has rung on a new school year for students on Hilton Head Island, and Monday was the first day of learning for those students. The kids at Hilton Head Island Elementary School walked in their classrooms bright and early, some clearly excited to be there, others a little more concerned and needed some help from mom and dad to make it through the doors. 777 students will get their lessons here all year long. The school's principal says all their days are great, but the first one is extra special.
Oh, it's an exciting day. We look forward to this day. Teachers have been busy working to get their classroom environment ready and are ready to welcome students. It's our favorite day of the year, I feel like. Mostly smiles. Sometimes they're a little tired after, summer vacation, but they're glad to be back too, and they're looking forward to seeing their teachers and their classmates.
And this year, the Beaufort County School System has staggered start times for all 3 Hilton Head schools, including the middle and high school, to help ease the traffic woes for parents. And on day 1, everyone said it's been a big help. The media sources on your screen will have more on these and other stories, and we would love for you to follow us on Instagram at WHHI-TV and Facebook. And if you have an idea for a news story, we'd love to hear it, so drop us a line at news@WHHITV.com. And now here's Justin Jarrett with what happened last night in the Lowco.
Hey, it's time for Last Night in the Lowco on WHHI, powered by LowcoSports.com. We took the Lowco show poolside last night, with 5 area swim teams getting the competitive juices flowing at the Beaufort Back to School Invitational. May River's girls left the competition in their wake in a dominant performance, with Mia Yemec leading the way with a pair of individual wins and contributing to 2 relay victories, while Susan Cushman scored 2 golds for Beaufort High. Bluffton's boys narrowly edged Hilton Head Christian Academy by 2 points to sweep the day, as Sam Deaton and Kenneth Lagos each won 2 individual races and were on 2 winning relay teams. HHCA's Jack Ussery also won both of his events and nearly made up a half a pool length on his anchor leg of the 200-meter freestyle relay, which would have flipped the team standings.
The time Levi came in at the wall, the other guy was about a third, maybe half of the way down the pool, and so I wasn't able to out-touch him, but it got down close to the end, which is always exciting. Fun show.
Hear more from an outstanding interview with Ussery on the Lowco Sports Instagram or Facebook pages. Girls tennis season is underway, and Bluffton and John Paul II picked up wins over Lowco rivals last night, while JP2's volleyball team stayed perfect, improving to 9-0 with a win over Veritas Academy. Cameron Michael with 9 kills. Whale Branch picked up a rivalry win over Battery Creek, and Hilton Head Christian split a pair with Savannah foes, while the May River boys swept a pair from Beaufort and Royal Live Oaks. For Lowco Sports and WHHI, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go Lowco.
Thanks, Justin. Now let's get a look at the weather with Maria.
Thanks, Betsy. Yep, so taking a look ahead, we are going to get a break from the rain for the next few days, but we are going to have another hot weekend on our hands. Probably going to have a heat advisory, and the real feel is going to get up to 110, if not more. So taking a look ahead, Thursday, it's going to be sunny to partly cloudy, with Hilton Head having a high of 88, a low of 76. Bluffton's going to have a high 90, a low of 73, and Beaufort's going to have a high 89, a low of 74. The sunrise for Thursday is going to be at 6:53 and sunset's going to be at 7:57. Taking a look at the beach tides, low tide's going to be at 10:31 a.m. and high tide's going to be at 3:42 p.m. Taking a look into the rest of the weekend, again, we're probably going to be under a heat advisory. The real feel is going to get up to 110, if not more, and the UV index is supposed to be at 9. So if you're going to be outside, do be careful. So taking a look at Friday, it's going to be sunny and humid with highs in the mid-90s and lows in the mid-70s. Come Saturday, it's going to be, again, sunny to partly cloudy with the highs climbing into the upper 90s, if not into the hundreds, with the lows being in the upper 70s. And then come Sunday, it's going to be sunny with the highs again in the mid-90s and lows are going to get into the 80s. That's it for today. Let's head it back to the desk.
Thanks, Maria. After a quick break, we're going to get an update on everything going on in the town with Heather Rath. Stay with us.